There you go. Just gotta go backwards down the stairs.
Oh, good find, love. I love it. This is it.
Your top three, Daniel Ironman, Marcel Nielsen, and Jackie Perry.
Okay.
All right.
Tell us about the swim. Oh no, we don't need to go there.
Well, I'll just tell you about the race.
Okay, let's talk.
We stayed pretty close, and that was nice. I appreciated the convenience. Walking up race morning, I mean, it was pretty no stress, right?
No, it was easy.
It was so easy.
5-minute walk to transition.
Yeah. So, staying close is always a plus. And got there, got the bottles, everything super smooth race morning. All the porta potties were locked, but eventually we got them to open one. That was a concern. I don't know, nothing crazy. Got in, got announced, got warmed up, and I had heard, people like to start fast now, apparently in Ironman. That's a difference between back in the day and now. And I just wanted a no drama swim. I didn't want to touch anybody. I didn't want to go out hard. I didn't want to burn any matches in the swim. And I understand maybe in some bigger races with certain people and certain dynamics like that will probably have to change. That you have to maybe go hard and burn a match or two in the swim, trying to make sure you're with the right people on the bike. But in this swim, I just really wanted to have a good day, and I didn't want to feel panic at any moment during the day. And that starts with just having a smooth swim, not touching anybody, and doing my own thing. And so I started maybe a little slow, and I was out way on the edge. And luckily, the girls kind of swam off course a little bit, so I ended up getting on the group with Maya and Kat, which they had gapped me a little bit. And luckily, I got on with them because that really made the day nice. But already in my head, if I wouldn't have swam with them, I knew there was a strong bike group coming from behind. So I wasn't even worried. I was just at peace with whatever was going to happen in the swim. So I felt fine. I just swam a nice steady pace and swam in and jogged to transition, started to grab my run bag because I don't know the colors, and that made my bag situation a little slower, so then I had to run a little quicker to get to my bike because Kat and Maya were trying to leave me in the dust. So I jumped on my bike and rode as hard as I could to make sure I was with them. And then the weird phrase that kept going through my mind on the bike was just understand your assignment. And I had this thing in my head that it was my assignment to ride with these people. And I had a wattage goal that Ian had given me, and I was keeping that in mind, but also I knew the importance of just trying to stay with them to stay in the race. So luckily, once we initially settled in and Kat had her water bottle fiasco, it ended up to be pretty steady, actually a little below the wattage goal. So I felt pretty content just sitting there, focusing on riding steady and getting my nutrition in. And time was flying by. We had a glorious tailwind on the really nice road section, so it was really fast. We were going, I didn't even look at the speed, but over 40K an hour. We were going incredibly fast. And so the bike ride was going by quick, and that was great. The parts through town, one side of the loop is a really long, straight, fast section, and one side of the loop is kind of windy through town, potholes, all this stuff. So it's shocking how quick this course was, because all of us said it did not feel like we were going fast because there's quite a lot of turns and the roads are crap. So anyway, we get back into eventually the chase group, like Danny, Sarah, Sphinx, and Els caught us. Actually, not very long they caught us, but then we all rode together till we got back in town. Then all the dramas that everybody's seen with like the little crash, and then on the very next U-turn, Kat like crashed into the barriers and then tried to ride back and like almost ran into me and Maya, and so there's like 2 full stops on the bike. And I mean, after that, that's when I got separated from, like, Danny went out front and she was like, this is probably stupid. I'm going to go do my own thing, I think is what she was probably thinking. I was then at the back at that point, and I had like 25 miles of kind of hard riding trying to catch back up to Maya. And finally I caught her, and then it was nice and steady again. So this is very long-winded, but this is my recap. Let's see, I drank through my bottles. I was trying to, I had one big bottle on my frame of the Cervelo fill the gel, and I couldn't drink it through the suction thing because it was my first time trying this because I'm a rookie at Ironman, and the gel wouldn't squirt through the nozzle of the bottle. So then once we got past the cobble, there's like a few sections of cobblestones. Once we got past that on the second loop, I was like, oh, I gotta take the lid off this bottle so I could just like glug this gel in. So I took the lid off the bottle, and then I had to stick my finger in the gel bottle to like get the bottle out, and then like glug the gel.
So pro.
So pro. So then I was like, it's not gonna spill now because it's partway gone and there's no more cobble. So I just kept the bottle in there with no lid, and then anytime I needed it, I just like had to like glug the gel down. So that is the pro tip.
About your idea for next time?
No, I don't have a plan yet for next time, but we're gonna play around with the gel and water ratios to hopefully make it a little more liquid, and then hopefully I can consume it without having to like remove the lid. Hey,
It worked.
I think I did okay with the nutrition. I think there are probably some things that need to be tweaked.
Hey, nothing on your bike blew up.
Nothing blew up.
broke.
My bike functioned. And I was able to run. So those signs point to things went at least okay. So getting off the bike, I had been concerned because my back sometimes gets really tight, and my glutes when I ride in TT for a super duper long time. And I got off, and it was like, honestly, not even as bad as it had been in St. George or Chattanooga. So I was like a little slow getting off and did a couple stretch moves, but once and they had removed the carpet, the whole transition from where we get off our bike was carpeted to the bags, and I thought, glorious, we can run on this. When we got back with our bikes, they had removed all that carpet, so we had to run on like the actual asphalt with all these little rocks getting in our feet, which is just brutal after biking 112 miles. So I was running like a baby with a broken back, and finally got my bag. And once I got my socks and shoes on and started running, I was 100% fine. Like nothing hurt, no concerns. So it all goes away, once I start running. So out onto the run, I knew that there was not a big gap to the girls in front, and my main focus was just on running my own run and not worrying about anybody else or any times or anything that was happening. I needed to focus on myself and getting myself to the finish line the quickest way possible. And it like stresses me out to think about other people or time gaps or trying to catch people. So I didn't even let that enter my mind. I just ran, and I was feeling honestly surprisingly good the first, 8 to 10 miles. I wore a watch specifically to try and control my pace because I was very worried my body is really set in 70.3 mode that I would be running 70.3. And yes, my body kept trying to go to like that like 6-ish pace, which is shocking, but I kept like slowing it down. I had to like pretend like I was on like a easy long run. But I think I slowed down the right amount. I wouldn't have wanted to slow down any more because I think no matter what, your pace is gonna trail off a tiny bit, and that's what mine did. So I felt extremely good up until the moment that I did not feel extremely good. All of a sudden, what was it, end of the second lap or so? It was like right almost to a half marathon, like mile 11. It felt like somebody just took 1,000 knives and stabbed them into my quads. It hurt so bad.
Did you have any words for anybody out there? Like maybe supporters that were cheering you on?
I said, it's time to be tough now. Because they were jumping around, we're having fun. They thought, because the first lap and a half when I was coming by, I was like, this is great, I feel great. And then, so they're jumping up and down cheering. And I was not in that zone anymore. I was in like it's time to be tough mode zone. So I said, we gotta be tough now. And then they're cheering completely switched gears into like be tough mode, which was good. And man, that was the switch was much earlier than I thought it would be. I was fully prepared to go into that zone for a while, but I did not think it would be before the half marathon, honestly. My quads felt so bad.
Tell us about the emotion. I guess, when did it hit you that this race was, that was yours, coming down the finish line, or was it earlier? When did those thoughts creep into your mind like, hey, I'm winning this today?
I was trying really hard to stay I wasn't allowing any other thoughts except for keep it steady, like literally aid station to aid station. It hurt so bad. It just hurt so bad that if I allowed myself to think about my legs, that made me think there is no way I will make it to the finish line. And if I thought about the other people, I kind of started freaking out like I was gonna not make it either, like they were gonna catch me or something. And I was like, oh, think about the kids. I started thinking about the kids, then I start crying because I don't know why. So the only thing I could think about was actually running, staying in the exact moment, thinking about what I was gonna eat at the next aid station, trying to have the best form possible, and just go normal and not think about my quads exploding. I don't know. It's like a complete mental, I just had to completely check out of my body and just go like a step at a time type of deal. So
when did you check back in and when did it hit you that you were, I guess,
well, once
what were those emotions coming down the finish line? Let's talk there.
Well, I'll tell you, once I had thought through a million scenarios, I had a lot of trainer time. I had a million solo rides. And I did not allow myself to listen to music on any of my long training rides, so I had a lot of time in my own head to think through a million scenarios. And you kind of know who's going to do the race. And I thought, honestly, when I saw Kat leave the race on the bike ride, and I knew the gap coming off, I thought, if I can just run my run and not do anything stupid and just do my best run, I thought there was a good chance I could get to the finish line first. because I knew I was in good run shape. I've been running well. You can't control what other people are going to do, but I knew that I could personally put together a very strong run if I kept my stuff together and didn't do anything stupid, kept fueled, and just focused on running. So yeah, so once I came into first, that was my main thing, is like, just keep running. Don't think about anything else. Like, don't think about the finish. So it wasn't until, like, even in the finish line, I was like, I need to get through the finish line before I entertain too many celebratory ideas. Like, I just wanted to complete the activity. That's my always number one goal. So we needed to get the completion check mark, and you know, I was just completely overcome with like emotion, and just the emotions of relief and like overcoming struggles, and just complete thankfulness for this journey and how long it's been since I've felt good and had good races. Like, now I've had multiple good races, and it's just crazy. It's just like, you just don't know what's gonna happen. And yeah, so at the finish, I was like a complete mess and just extremely happy. And, you know, like I was saying the other day, if this would have happened, you know, things like these good races and stuff, like, you don't appreciate it the same when you're young. And that's why I'm glad it's happening now. And I can truly appreciate it and understand that this is really neat. And yeah, happy about it.
What's next? Head home tomorrow?
Yep, we head home tomorrow morning, and we're gonna see the kids. We're on summer break now, and have a week to just kind of regroup with family time, and do easy stuff. Just generally try to walk again. My podium step up has gone completely viral, I think, because it's so bad and so embarrassing. So I'm glad everybody can see that I'm extremely human. I cannot walk. So yes, and then I am so excited to continue the Pro Series campaign. So I've got 2 more Ironmans in this deal, and I took my Nice slot, but before that we got Lake Placid. So should be good. Very excited. Thank you guys for watching and following, and all of your notes and comments I really appreciate. So thank you, stay tuned, and we'll be back with hopefully some footage of kind of when we get back into it, build up to Lake Placid.
Jackie Herring. Jackie, my hand, I want to know if you want to sit down. Yeah, she can stand. There they are. Erin Schinkels, Elisabeth Dudor. Katrin Glasberg, Christian Teddy, Harry Hansen, Julia Express, your top 3. Daniela Barnett, Maestro Nielsen, your Ironman European champion, Jackie Herring. Yes, super. Schnellmann and Paul Wasserlich, Jackie. Before we go there, just a couple of words, Jackie. Congratulations. After 9 years, did you even remotely imagine, whilst you were training on those long bike rides and those long runs, that in Hamburg, I'm going to be the first person on the square?
Yeah.
That is the right answer, but I'll tell you something. To me, Jackie this week was more nervous than some of our first-timers.
Yeah, I was really nervous. I think as a pro, when you're training, you have to have it in your mind, or even as an age grouper, you have to leave space for something magical to happen on race day. And it was for me.
Getting a little bit emotional as well. I know you've won on home turf in Wisconsin, but I would imagine after this long absence and having an incredible race yesterday, smashing a whole bunch of personal PRs, Hamburg is very firmly in your heart for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I had so much fun in Germany in the race. The whole community, everything was really good. Yeah, love it.
I believe you had a bet with your children, and when you get home you have to use your prize money to buy them something special.
Yeah, a couple years ago, we made this little bet that if I win a big race, that we get to buy a hot tub, a little spa for home. So now we have to do a little construction project when we get home. So that'd be good.
And one of them's a hot tub. Another big round of applause, your champion, Jackie Herring.
Jackie, I'm going to start with you. Are you going to the World Championship?
I'd like to, yes.
That's a yes!